everyone. Welcome back to Man.
The show where we recap Drag Race Philippines from a Pinoy queer superfan lens.
And this time, we have an extra special guest judge, both a guest and a judge on the latest episode. So please welcome the one, the only, the singular, who is Pangina Heals.
Hello. Hi, everyone watching. Hi.
Hello. So, you're here, aside from, of course, you were at our viewing party last night, but you're also here for your roast. Are you looking forward to that?
I'm actually really excited because I've never been roasted before. I've always loved the notion of roasting because if you have humor, you can get through anything in life. And that's how my family healed because if you have Asian parents, that's the only way you get through it, you know? But I love roasting, and you have to be really clever, and you have to be open-minded to be able to take a joke. But like when you're like so perfect, like me, like what are you gonna say?
We will find out.
We kind of got a preview last night
Yes.
when you and Eva kind of did some mild roasting.
Really? Well, she caught me off guard. Like, I
Oh.
wasn't sure, but I'm excited. I know that Eva can read a bitch. So we'll see.
We will
I'm
see.
nervous.
but yes, it's a busy work week for you here in Manila. So you were at our viewing party last night, and we have you here because we are going to just talk about episode 4, the Rusical, which you judged. First of all, amazing job as a judge.
Yes.
It's everything is just done from like a place of love. You're tough, but you could still feel that you genuinely cared for the queens.
I do. And I think, I mean, come on. People with the padding, like honestly, you know, drag queens, if you have a drag queen mother or you are a part of a house, that's how we speak to each other. And yes, fortunately, it's going out into the world. And the more, like, I know these queens
Yes.
personally.
Yes.
I've worked with them before. I know Bernie from 2015. And like anyone I say anything to, hopefully they understand that it's coming from the perspective of someone who's sat behind the judge's table for many seasons. And if they come up to me and was like, that's unwarranted themselves, I'll be like, okay, let's talk about it. But if it's from a perspective of someone who thinks that I'm coming from a place of just being rotten, that's not who I am. You know?
Exactly.
And I think it's because you also competed in an international all-star season that kind of just makes your feedback really like rich and very, very authentic and personal because you actually know what they are going through in the competition.
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure. I think when you're in a pressure cooker situation like that, a lot of the times they're in their heads a lot. You know, and it's interesting sometimes that you want to lift someone and sometimes you want to shake someone and make them like, hey, stop doing that to yourself. You know you're better than this. I've seen you outside.
But what I also love about your judging style is, as harsh as your critiques may be, but albeit constructive, you're also not one to skimp on singing them praises. You literally give them standing ovations.
Yeah.
You yell for them on the runway. Like, you give them the flowers that they deserve, that you think they deserve.
No, for sure. When you do well, I would be that girl at a nightclub where you're like standing and just screaming because that's what drag does to you. You can't control yourself when you love something that they
Yes.
do so much, right? And like for me, I don't have favorites. I'm not gonna be like, oh, she's from Thailand.
Oh, you were giving it to Sia. I mean, like episodes 3 and 4.
Like, I'm like, oh, she's from Thailand. She's amazing. She's great. She's gonna like win the crowd. No, if you suck, not that she is, but I'm gonna like, if you fail on a certain thing, I'm gonna be like, hey, this is how it is. It doesn't matter to me at that point. Everyone is the same in the competition, regardless of how many social followings they have. Yeah.
And we talked about this last night that I can't help but look at Slaysian Royale as kind of part of your legacy in the sense that because you were the first, you know, Asian queen to get on an international all-star season, it kind of feels like Slaysian Royale is kind of the 2.0 of what you started. And because now you have queens from different Asian backgrounds, Asian heritages, just being able to display excellence. How does this make you feel?
Proud, humbled, honored that I was able to be the first one. You know, just it was a lot of firsts. I feel like for me, my life has been a lot about being the first of many things. Like I mean, Drag Race Thailand was the first franchise
yes.
out of the U.S.
Yes.
Hear that, Brooklyn? Because she always says Canada's the first. It is not, girl. Look it up. And first judge to become a contestant, and then first Southeast Asian, first Thai person, and it's for me to see a show where Asian people are being celebrated with their backgrounds wherever they come from all over the world. It's so important because, me growing up, I don't see a lot of people who look like me in Hollywood, or if we do, it's only in like kung fu movies, or we're typecast in a certain way, and now we're shown in whatever we want to be as human beings, and that's so important because, like for me, seeing, sorry to like segue, but like Lara from Cat's Eye.
Oh, of course, yes.
Just
oh my God.
representing her culture as a Southeast Asian. I'm like, you go, girl. And I get tears talking about this is because we don't see enough representation. And people nowadays, you think that we do, but look back 10 years ago.
Yeah, I think people that aren't from Asia have a certain image of what an Asian is that's not diverse enough. It's always like an East Asian, someone from China, someone from Korea, that people don't see enough of the variety of Asians that there are. And it's so great now that there is a bigger push for visibility for all the different kinds of Asians, South Asians, Southeast Asians.
Yeah, Asians who are, from different parts of the world. Like, you have Kitty Space, you have Madame Yoko, that there is really no one way because there
be
are
Asian, yes.
infinite ways to be Asian. And that is the kind of representation that I think we just really love to see.
True, and it's fascinating to learn about other people's culture and how it shapes their drag because it's part of their identity. It's so beautiful to just be like, oh, I did not know that about you.
Yeah. So now that we are done with the pleasantries, let
Yes.
us get into the juice, the drama of this episode. Of
And
course,
it was quite a thick, juicy episode.
yes. So I think
She's having her wine. Let
What
her
do you
have her
mean?
wine.
What do you mean?
So we have to talk about really the strategy and the gameplay and the lipstick of it all of this episode.
Yeah.
Because the episode started wherein it was revealed that Kitty picked Arizona's lipstick. So Arizona almost went home. And then by the end of the episode, Arizona, who said that she was gonna go by track record, all of a
And
sudden
kind of made amends with Kitty along the way.
all of a sudden found herself kind of choosing between somebody who was close to her, Bernie, and somebody who just picked her lipstick. So do you go the personal route? Do you go with the track record route? As somebody who, took out Jimbo in episode 3 of UK versus the World.
Did I?
And during that time, Jimbo was, track record-wise, was pretty strong.
Yes.
What's your take on this
Same
whole...
as me, bitch. I won 2 Rue badges.
Exactly,
By
but
that
exactly.
point.
But also the week after, when you landed in the bottom,
Yeah.
people, the first opportunity they could get you out, they took it. So what's your
Yeah.
whole
Yeah.
take on this whole gameplay survivor-esque?
Oh my God.
treatment
I
of
have
Drag
very
Race.
varying decisions when it comes to the answer of that question. Before,
Uh-huh.
as a judge, I always went with track record. And obviously, I'm not going to change my truth. I'm going to keep saying how I felt because the week I eliminated Jimbo, I still think she did the worst. I will still say that. Despite the other weeks she's done well. Which, having said that, Blue eliminating me was fair. Because that week I did one of the worst. So she's allowed to do whatever she wants. And if you remember when I was eliminated, I said it's okay to Blue because I was like, you have every right to eliminate me. And then when we met together again, I said why. I just wanted to know why, and it was like that's it. I wasn't mad at all. I just wanted to know why because we were friends, right? But having said that, the week that I eliminated. How hard it is for you to grow up seeing Jujubee and then having the opportunity to save her. Like, that's wild to me
Yeah.
because I'm like, Jujubee is like 100 years old. And like, for me to actually be able to like save her and like, I couldn't be that person. So in Arizona's way of
Yes.
like having to save Bernie, I can relate to that. But that wasn't my reasoning. My reasoning is still track record. You're a judge. You're a judge. That's more important than being friends. You can be friends outside of competition. You don't give a shit. Now is where you come to play the Olympics of drag.
Yes.
Yeah.
With this whole idea of you wanting to beat the best at the end, are you more for that, or the first opportunity you can kind of eliminate someone who's doing well, and when they just have a bad day, you take that first chance?
Well, it's interesting because no matter what I say, a lot of people are going to be like, but you
Yeah.
eliminated your biggest competition. Number one, Lemon, because she's a dancer. And then number two, Jimbo. But guess what? Now both of them have crowns.
Yeah.
So thanks to my, my witch magic, bitch.
So it all works out in the end.
Yeah, so whoever I eliminate gets
Will-
a crown. It all works out in the end. But your question is,
Do you want to take the best to the end and have the glory of
fuck
saying,
that. Who doesn't like cash? You know what I
Exactly.
mean? Like, I love that notion. I was like, I want to beat the best. Really?
Well, you
Or
are kind of beating them by taking them out.
That part. Agree.
And I think Arizona shared this last night, which is, I think, a really good argument for how she was feeling in that moment, where she said that if she eliminated Bernie in that moment, it wouldn't allow her to sleep at night. It would not allow her to have the peace of mind. It wouldn't allow her to sleep soundly at night. And I think that's also part of like strategy in the competition of like, how can you be in your best mindset as a competitor? Then maybe if like keeping your friend in would help you.
Well,
along the
girl,
way.
it's a lot. It's very different nowadays
Exactly.
because you know what? There's an outside factor. The
Yes.
fans.
The fans.
You guys that are watching right now, you guys make Drag Race different. It's because everyone's afraid of being canceled. Whatever decisions you make in the show, people will decide who you are within that month that you're filming. So everyone's very scared. And so I don't know if it's true whether I think we're more afraid and conscious of the repercussions even more now than ever.
Yeah, because I think, had Arizona chosen Kitty to stay, the conversation now would be, you betrayed your friend.
Betrayed Philippines.
Right?
Girl.
Right?
How could you do that to your sister?
Yeah. Yeah.
You can never win.
Yeah.
In the moment of you staying and someone else leaving, there's always that conversation. People are always gonna say something about you picking someone's lipstick or you staying over someone during a lip sync. There's always gonna be something negative about it, but that's how the cookie crumbles. It's
Yeah.
part of the game.
Yeah.
Yes, it really
Yeah,
is.
but with that being said, I'm sure, if it's an all-star season, lipsticks are gonna get chosen. I think this is the first time during all 4 episodes where finally the twist has paid off in terms of like drama and story and memes. And as a reality TV fan, it makes for quite entertaining TV if you think about it.
No, for sure. I agree. I think it was an amazing episode because we were like, oh, Kitty's in trouble. We all hear the soundtrack of Jaws. Dung, 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 dung. Like, we all knew when she was like, oh, if Arizona's winning, everyone at the viewing party
Yeah.
was like, oh.
Yeah. And even when Arizona requested to switch roles with Kitty,
Yeah.
it was kind of like slowly we knew what the outcome was going to be, but when it got there, it was still, oh my God, did that really just happen?
But
Right.
also on that note, when Kitty picked her role, Arizona said she wanted it, but then she gave Kitty the role, and then she kind of just asked for it back during the
Yeah.
audition process thing.
See, it's interesting because if I was in that position, I wouldn't switch my role.
Mm-hmm.
But it's on my season, the last person who got the role as well. So it was like, it doesn't really matter as long as you just like really commit to the role that you have. I think why Kitty was in the bottom. Why do you guys think she's in the bottom?
Based on the edit, because that's really
Yeah.
only what
Oh,
we
you
can
want to
see.
be political about it. Politically correct about it. Holy shit.
Because
Based on the edit.
because we want to keep our jobs of being able to podcast, so
Well,
we
yes,
cannot.
but also it's like you have the
You're
point
the
of
only
view
one who
of
actually knows
being in
what
the
went
room.
down. So so based on the edit, I do agree with what Karen said, that the lip syncing wasn't always precise.
Yeah.
And I think part of your comment in the edit was also that, it's going to be hard for you to sell a character if you don't have the words
Yes.
on lock. So I'm actually just supporting your logic here.
Kiss ass.
No, but for me was also like, her blocking was off because like half the time of her solo moment, her profile was fully facing the camera.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so when you're on the set, they always know which camera is filming you based on the red dot. So when you're performing, there's no way that you don't know which red dot is happening. There's several cameras while you're on there, and you're gonna be like, you acknowledge where the red dot is. Yes, you have your blocking. Yes, you're performing. But you're always performing to the front because ideally, as a performer, most of the times you have to perform to the
Yes.
front. So if you are too sideways, too profile, for me, that's on you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like she had this whole moment where she was lifted and she would like all we could see was the side of her face. She couldn't even like bother to turn her head like a few degrees just so that we could see more
Yeah.
of what was going on here.
Yeah.
And it's so crazy because last week she did so well.
Yes.
Like I'm saying I'm not biased. I'm saying like literally that was one of my favorite looks that week, and I said that's why she was in the top. But like this week, like we're going off the performance, the Rusical, right? And then the Runways has less to do with that, allegedly.
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 Oh, look at her being politically
Look at
correct.
her. Look at her.
His ass, bitch.
Look at her also trying to keep her job.
Oh, hand jobs, blow jobs, sure. So that's why I
Yeah,
felt like
yeah,
she was not
yeah.
up there. Yeah.
Which is the perfect segue because we are now going to talk about the Rusical. So you kind of touched on this, but like what do you think are some of the key strategies to be able to just stand out in a Rusical? You touched on the whole, do you play to the room? Do you play to the camera?
Well, as someone who's won the Rusical challenge, I feel like I am qualified to talk about it because I got a crazy role to be like an old lady and like just like insane, right? But for me, it's being committed to the role so much and seeing a fully realized character. For example, Bernie's character, for me, didn't go anywhere. When I said that, it was like, you're ditzy, and what? Like, you can be ditzy, it has to show in your characterization, the way you move, the way you interact with people. So it has to be a character that you can imagine being in the real world, not just on that stage. For me, that's not enough. And does it entertain you? Does it make you laugh? Like, for example, like Arizona's, for me, Arizona, Venus, and Brigading, it was fully realized character. There was so many shades of that person that you're like, oh my God, it was so fun. And we'll talk about each of the characters as well, because when you're there, it's very different to seeing it on TV. To answer your question, sorry. Being committed to the character, knowing your blocking, knowing your angles, lip sync, know every fucking word. Also breathe it, play with it. It's lip syncing is not just a straightforward thing. A lot of people lip sync just the words that is there, but they don't think about what's between those words.
Yeah.
Do you inhale? Does your eyebrows come up when there's a pause? There's so many things you can do between those things.
And also for me, it's like this character is saying this because they're thinking a certain way. You have to show us the thought process of how this character got to saying these words or singing these words.
Yes. And even anticipate certain
Yes.
things. Yeah.
And I think we see that in some of the girls. So now we get right into the episode. Okay, so let us get to the Rusical. So we've already touched on Bernie earlier, but we are gonna go through this the way the solos were actually presented to us. Up first, we have Bernie as Doja Park. So she's supposed to be your social media
Like socialite, idol kind of character.
clout hungry woman.
Token dits of a
Token dits.
Rusical.
Yeah.
Right. And we all know this one girl that we fucking hate. And it's so annoying. And she wasn't annoying for me. And like the voice and the ditziness did not come through in the characterization. She was just Bernie. And she was just going through the movements. But for me, this character itself, in order to be successful, you really need to make me hate you.
Yeah, for me, her energy was great. I don't get that like backstory. It's not that you have to have like create a rich backstory, especially for like a Rusical character who we know are usually written as like two-dimensional stereotypes. But I don't get to why she's like that. I don't get I don't see that Bernie has a grasp of like where this character is coming from.
Yeah. Same way that, you know, I only know that she is a social media girl because she is holding a phone
Yes.
and there are graphics behind her. But if you take those
Take the
out,
phone away.
if you take those out, like, who are you?
There needs to be a certain level of desperation in this character that's lacking.
Especially if you are trying to, you know, steal someone's man. There needs to be that energy of
Yes.
pick me.
You need to hate the bitch.
Yeah. And up next, we have Kiana as Master Jackie Ho.
Yep.
A little bit of an Anitra callback as well, if you think about the whole martial arts of it all.
For
Slaysian.
sure.
Yeah. You weren't able to critique Kiana because she was safe, but like, what do you have to say about this?
She was one of the tops as well.
For
Most
me,
definitely
same.
for the performance. It was powerful. And like, she was one of the queens that when the camera wasn't on her, was doing something in their own character. So when the camera's on her, or like when it's time for the other person to be singing, Kiana would be doing kung fu moves the whole time, or Arizona would be like playing with her spatula and shit. So that's what I was like, you're in it. You're so into that character. So for me, like honestly, she was one of the tops, but we have to add, in my perspective, the runway look as well.
Yeah.
Yes.
And like I think the top two did so well that for me she was like close third.
Yeah. She could have broken into that.
Yeah, I like the concept of her runway look. It's just that again, in the lineup of girls for this category where the girls were bringing in like extra heads, 2, 3, 4, 5 extra heads, and she came in a bodysuit with just like a details of faces. The smaller silhouette didn't help her this time.
Damn, no positive.
I said I loved her concept. I love the execution. It's just in the lineup of girls in this category.
Yeah.
Yeah. But also Kiana's precision in just the Rusical.
Yes.
You know, she had to hit that mark of, she had to like pose with Bernie's selfie. Kiana, I think, is just a masterful lip sync.
And it's not just the precision, it was her presence. The way that her eyes like light up as she is saying these lines, as she is doing these moves. She's also one of my favorites for the Rusical performances.
Yep.
Yes.
Fierce.
And then we have Kitty Space as Lin Tech Lee.
First of all, the song I thought was so funny.
Yeah.
If you actually get the reference, from me,
Schitt's
it's
Creek.
from
Work-
Schitt's Creek.
Yes.
I'm a little bit drunk when I'm in my car. You know, like
Yes,
it's
a little
very
Alexis,
that. Yes,
yes.
Alexis. Yes. So for me, I was like, this character could be so funny because if you just listen, that's also one thing. If you listen to the song itself without them performing, gives them give us the audience the possibility of how funny that character can be. And I don't think she went all the way with that. And I don't think the lip sync was crisp, like I said.
Yeah, she was definitely mouthing different syllables from when I watched it. I have to take a moment to commend the writing of this Rusical because it's a minefield for like theater nerds. I was like gay orgasming the entire time. They would pull out a different. Well, first of all, the inspiration is other than being Crazy Rich Asians, Six the Musical, one of my
Yes.
favorites. That is so smart because like it's a draggiest Broadway pop musical right now. So for them to put it on Drag Race, great job. And then referencing other musicals
Hamilton is
or other
there, yeah.
Hamilton is there. Satisfied is that girl.
Yeah.
All of the other musical references for each character, if you know where they're from, it's such an exciting thing to watch. And I think that's also if you were a queen coming into this, knowing these different references, I think that would help you much more with
Yeah.
how you are supposed to attack the character, what
Sure.
the character
I
stereotype
mean,
was.
the fact that you guys knew the Schitt's Creek reference and I didn't, and I saw like how your face is just lit up. I was like, oh, they got something that I just do not
Right?
know. So, but those are actually tools for you to be able to just flesh out
Yeah.
the role that you get, right?
I feel like that would be rather than because you know the Rusical scripts come with like this character is this archetype, this like kind of character. But if you listen to the song, especially in this one, I would have picked factoring in the song more, the reference more than the actual like blurb of what the character is.
Yeah.
Because at least like it gives you a certain like direction to play the character. Like
Yeah.
if you're given Satisfied, you'd play it a little bit like Angelica Schuyler, but like a dragified version,
Yeah.
right?
Basically, what you're trying to say, you just have more things to play with, right?
Yes.
If you know these references, and you don't have to necessarily, but it does help.
Up next, we have who will eventually win this episode, Arizona Brandy as Chef Lee cum Queen.
Arizona Brandy being funny, groundbreaking. No, but girl,
There's just something about the way she kind of entered into her solo. You knew that she was in full command of the next few seconds, and the way that puts the audience at ease is actually, I think, something that comes very, very rarely.
someone on Twitter sent me like the different references for each song. So
see.
for Arizona, it is from Sleeping Beauty, Be Our Guest.
Yes, I was gonna say
Wait,
that.
Be Our Guest is from Beauty and the Beast, right?
Beauty and the
no
Beast, sorry.
shit.
Beauty
Yeah,
and the Beast.
Yes. But yeah, Arizona was just giving you peaks and valleys.
Yeah, but it's not fair because she's always played the Beast in real life. So what?
At least we know she's acting.
So back to commenting on how great she is. It's the movement. It's so campy. It's
Yes.
so funny. Each beat has intention. It has a purpose. Look at her body movement when she's like holding the table. Every single movement, you know why she's doing it.
Yeah.
It's over the top, but like you know why she's doing that, so you
Yes.
can justify it. She's not being over the top for the sake of it.
And clean.
Yes.
She's very clean because you can be big and just like, for me, certain performers, and I think I've said it, it wasn't aired. I think I was talking about Sayam. I said, when your movements are not sharp, it looks like you're drowning underwater. When you're not stopping, Yeah.
Release the full edit of all of Pangina's feedback.
Girl, I said so much negative things about everyone, but I also said positive things about everyone.
Well,
Yeah.
we have Yuwa as Dr. Tammy Tak. First of all, I've said this as well in the girl group challenge. Yuwa's very, very strong stage presence. Like it's like, and for somebody who is, petite, I'm just like I just like my eyes go straight to her the moment it's time for her solo.
Yeah, I mean, she's very animated,
So this song is from Book of Mormon, apparently. I'm not super familiar with it, so I didn't really catch that reference. But yeah, I mean, this is very on par. This character, this performance is very on par with Yuwa and like just her drag character. It wasn't disappointing, but it also wasn't like surprising.
I think it was safe.
Yeah.
I think it was safe. It wasn't high. It wasn't low. For me, it's because, and I asked her this when I was there. I was like, your character with the way you styled yourself looked more like a mad scientist than a plastic surgeon. A plastic surgeon, you trust a plastic surgeon if she's stunning, if she is snatched. And for me, it looks like she's like playing with like a Bunsen burner.
So if you walk into a clinic and a doctor that looks like you is there, would you let them touch your face?
Well, the first thing is, unlike Eva La Queen, I don't go to clinics. I don't need it. So I wouldn't know. But I would not. Would you?
No, I
Would you?
definitely would not. Girl, I feel like I would walk out there looking like a gremlin.
Don't you?
Okay.
Already?
Oh, wow. She's already roasting.
No, just kidding. No, I get it. It's just, maybe I'm just too realistic about it. I feel like the outfit doesn't. It's not connecting the dots with me. Have you ever met a plastic surgeon that looks like that?
Yeah. It's like Drag Race, Rusical's Drag Race acting challenges. It always asks for like a certain over the topness, but it has to make sense with the character still.
Yes, thank you. Yes, it could be campy, but it's gotta relate somehow to a certain aesthetic of realism where you can pull from it. You can't just maximize it off something that is in the fantasy world.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it still has to be very genuine and truthful to you. Up next, we have Siam Pussy as
Louis
Vuitton. I want to know what you think.
I want to know what you think.
I was way too distracted by the musical reference. When she went on to say a toast to the group, I was too happy about the song reference. I could barely pay attention to the actual performance. I was just so excited about the material.
What was her character again?
She's the pregnant ex-girlfriend.
But like, okay, that's her role. But like, how is she as a person?
I think her vibe is she's actually trying to kind of blackmail the guy because
She's
she is
pregnant.
pregnant. So there must be no other choice.
See, I don't feel it was forceful enough then. Because of the character that you're talking about, I don't feel a certain sense of graspiation. Is that a new word?
Graspiation.
It is now, yeah.
Graspiation. But like, and I'll say this. I think Sayam, I appreciate that she's a maximalist when it comes to her drag. But sometimes she needs to be more concerning about what she wears in order to create those movements flawlessly and be concerned, what am I doing right now? I'm doing a musical. Do I need to move? And not just, let's just pile everything up just because I love it. You know, purpose.
Her take on the character was a little mild-mannered for the role. Like the role is like a vengeful ex-girlfriend trying to blackmail the guy that she's pregnant. He got her pregnant. The way that she took it on felt a little soft.
What's a Disney princess?
Yes.
It's a very Disney princess.
When she's supposed to be a villain, I think, right?
Yes, I don't feel the villain at all, and she was just sweet Sayam like she is in real life, you know, and she's like the sweetest girl, like in and out of drag. So, for me, I didn't get that character was being honest to itself.
Got it.
And her movements was like she was drowning underwater.
Up next, we have Suki Doll as Michelle Yeoh Mask. But I think the reference here is Michelle
Michelle
Yeoh
Yeoh,
from
yes,
Crazy Rich
for
Asians.
sure.
I actually really, really love this performance. I believe that she was the matriarch of the whole craziness that we are seeing right now. I believed her. Also, the conversation online, I think, is that she also could have been on top with this particular performance.
And
but
her runway.
And her runway, but we want to know what you think.
It was just like this angry mother. But what? And sure, you can be like, well, it's like 30 seconds of characterization. But then when we talk about the tops, I'll explain why I felt like being one note among these titans is not enough.
Yeah.
Like she was just like this angry, disapproving mother. But an angry, disapproving mother also has vulnerability. An angry, disapproving mother has reasoning why she's like that. And it can be reflected, you know. But her runway look, bitch!
Yeah.
Oh, that was drag excellence. And I commented on her Instagram and someone was like, well, why didn't you let her win? Yeah, bitch. Yeah, of course. The decision's all up to me. Yeah. Why is the sky blue?
Then we have Brigading as Rachel Achu. She is the one the whole story revolves around.
Yes.
She is the leading lady. She took that risk of just going for the biggest role. What do you think of this performance?
For me, so I think she discussed this in their viewing party. I saw a video of like, she had the option to not be on stage when it wasn't her moment, but I think she kind of did the right decision of staying on stage because, you know, Brigading being a theater actor, that does inform you. Like, the way that people react to you and react to the situation should inform your character. And I think it really helped her build up to that big moment, you know, of like taking a song from Dreamgirls and really, literally, physically elevating herself with that block. I think it helped her get to that climax.
Yes.
Kind of similar to what Mick said, I love how affected Brigading was when it was time for her solo, because I think only a more experienced actress will really be able to kind of connect all the dots. Like, there were just like 6-7 soloists before me. How do I make sure that I use this to kind of build momentum into my solo? And I got that from her performance.
Yes. There was a graph. She didn't just completely blow out like a light bulb. She began slowly, but she ties the whole story together. But when it's time for her solo, there was different layers of that character that when you watch it, you're like, this character connected everybody. And also, I believe her. And the body language was so sharp. It was so big. And it just hit all the right notes for me, you know? And like, there is a certain amount of like desperation in her character, defiance in her character, strength, vulnerability that you can see.
Yeah, and you know, and that's what you want in in a leading lady. You want like she needs to kind of sell the whole payoff of the plot, and I
Yeah.
think she does that very, very well.
Yeah, but we have to take points off for her kissing my boyfriend.
Oh.
Yeah, I don't really appreciate that.
Some of those. And last but not the least, we have Sister Mary Grace. You tweeted that Venus for You was like one of the standouts in the Rusical. So speak on that.
Venus in the Rusical is drag master class because unlike the other roles, she didn't have like a full song to really solidify her character. But what she had were small moments peppered through, and she made the most out of each moment. And even when it wasn't her line, the way that she would react, larger than life, but making sense to her character, I super loved her performance here. The gimmicks that she came up with of like the onion when she says union, the different wig changes. I loved her performance here.
Right sentiment, wrong conversation. And here's why. Did I fucking enjoy her performance? Yes. I loved every moment of it. That's like drag excellence. Is she fitting herself into the role? That's a different conversation. Because I'm like, oh my God, that's Venus. That is
Okay.
such a great drag artist doing those wig changes and stuff. But I'm like, what is her role again? The officiant?
Priestess.
Yeah.
The priestess. That ain't no priest.
Okay.
That ain't no priest. So like for me, the top two was commanding the character they were assigned to do. Was Venus' performance great? Fuck yeah. But what about the conversation and the context that we're judging the characters?
And that is
Yes.
why Pangina hosts a show and Mix just hosts a podcast.
No, but yeah, I get what you mean. That contextualizing that does knock off points for the performance. But I loved her performance. She really made the most of her airtime.
Oh, for sure. There's nothing covering the idea of characterization. She was one of the best. It was so funny. Her facial movement the entire time, reacting, eye contact, everything. Drag excellence,
Yeah,
for sure.
yeah.
Amazing. Was she a priestess? No.
But she was a star, most definitely.
No, I agree.
Yeah, yeah.
But I'm just saying, I'm a fan of Venus too, and a lot of the girls. But like, let's compare it to the top two.
Yeah. And what the challenge is a Rusical, so you have to
Step into a role.
play somebody else, not just yourself. And I think
Yes, that part. How about that part?
yes. Thank you. Quickly.
Oh, by the way, isn't it crazy how the three judges, we didn't talk about wearing white?
I
You
know
thought
what?
you did.
No.
Oh my god.
I
So-
thought you were briefed.
No. No!
It looks like a singular category.
Girl. Okay, so guess what happened? I walked into the dressing room and I was like, Mama, how you wearing that? My outfit's white too. And then like an hour later, I turned to Karen and she was wearing this hood thing with a fringe. I was like, oh my God, you guys, we're all wearing fringes. We're all in white.
And
this is fucking insane.
And you're attending a wedding.
yes.
Oh my
it was,
God.
it's insane. Like I was just like, this is crazy. Because
Yeah.
everyone was like, you guys planned this, right? At the set. We did not. We did not have a group chat.
But this frame of just the three
yes,
of you,
the
right?
judging panel looks so
Yeah,
good.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, let's go to our category for the runway, which is
Happy Festival.
Okay, very,
Happy
very,
Festival.
very quick thoughts. Brigading with this showstopper of a look.
Insane.
And for this to be the first look to
I
come
know,
out
I
in
know.
the runway, I'm like, what about the others?
Right? She already stole the show. It's like, okay, now everyone has to kind of fight for a second to this look.
I mean, don't forget, it's not just the detail that is amazing, but it's also the scale of how big this is. You know, and the way she sold it and like walked backwards. I mean, that's kind of crazy to do.
Yeah, the reaction last night at the viewing party, it was
Yeah.
like, and because you knew this was gonna happen, I'm sure like deep inside you were like, oh, when the crowd sees what Brigading has, they are going to lose it. How did that feel? You know, kind of like sitting on this secret for a few months.
For me, like being there, my mouth was just like, I was like, oh my God, what's level up? You know, you always think of gargoyles and like statues and stuff, but it's presented in a way that we were like, oh my God, there's a flip. Like literally, there's a flip.
It has that extra stamp of Brigading's artistry.
Yes.
It's not just a reference. It's like, okay, this is my take on the reference.
That and Brigading going through two makeup changes in a single filming day. Like she
Yep.
went from her character in the Rusical to being in another like full drag makeup for the lip sync.
Yeah.
That is commitment.
Yeah,
Like
that-
bitch.
Yes.
Yes.
And we're not given a lot of time.
Me being among the audience at the viewing party, I felt like there was some sort of setup going on in the sequence of queens, like on the sequence of the runway, because this going right after brigading.
For me, honestly, I enjoy the silhouette. However, the two faces look petrified. Like they look petrified and shocked. And for me, if you're gonna do faces, unless it's completely different from your own face, we're gonna draw a comparison as human beings. And that's the same problem I have with Bernie as well, right? And so when the other two faces look like they're about to be hit by a car, that's like the last look you give. I feel distracted from the rest.
Bernie! Oh my god. What
Okay.
more can you say that was not aired?
I like her conviction. I think she's brave. I like her makeup. I like that she likes wearing it. And I liked that she is a quality human being. Girl, you really want me to be honest?
Yeah, we do. For me, this is one of those times where, because Bernie's runway looks are always very Bernie. She has like a sort of silhouette that she goes through. For how surprising Bernie painted red could be, this was very like, but I feel like I've kind of seen that from her. That's how I felt about this look.
Yeah. And like the two heads look crazy. Come on. The two heads like it looks crazy compared to before we get into the positives. So all those positives afterwards I also said, but those fugly shoes. Never wear those fugly shoes ever again with a look this elevated. Because think about it, everything's so cohesive. Why would you wear those and show your toeless talons? Like, it's so bad. Like, why open toe when you ain't got no toe? Open toe. Do you understand what I mean?
Yes.
Like, us drag queens, if we're wearing stockings, you gotta close them toes up. So, besides from her ugly toes, let's continue to the positive.
There's literally 3 of her faces. It's scary good
Yeah.
how much they look like her. Down to the expression. It's not just the facial features, but the resting face is exactly Arizona's resting face.
Yep. And it's also different expressions. That's why. And there's a certain amount of realism that I feel like I need it to be there if you want it to resemble the original face. Otherwise, then the fantasy is not fulfilled for me. I'm like, it looks kitschy.
Yeah, again, it's the sequence of the runway looks of the concept is the substance, but the silhouette, the idea, the execution kind of feels similar to Arizona's, and then you coming after her. It's just like best, good, okay, of the
Yes.
same thing.
Exactly. It's just unfortunate, right? Like there's many different faces on here, but for me, the reason that it wasn't as impactful as Ari was because the faces are so distorted. So it looked, it's less impressive.
The execution is clever, but in a lineup of like girls with gigantic silhouettes with like so many heads on their shoulders, having faces all over, like a bodysuit, it
becomes a bodysuit.
It falters in comparison. If you hated Arizona shoes, I hate US shoes. They don't make sense. Like the black leather boots with this look don't make sense to me.
Completely agree. And I think I said something as well. It wasn't aired. I don't know if they showed it, but parts of the faces was hanging out, and so I can see where it ended, where the faces ended.
Oh.
And I felt like she was relying on her presentation more than the look itself. For me, it wasn't fully realized. Sorry, Yuha. It was very underwhelming. Yeah. I am so bored of... Wait, let me finish my sentence. Don't think that it's shady before I finish. I am so bored of queens thinking that because I have such a great personality, I can sell any look. That's just being lazy, bitch. And it's not enough anymore. You can't be like, look at me. I just know how to sell everything because I have such a great personality. I'm like, so does everybody. Everyone's a drag queen.
Yeah, and with everyone like really stepping up their looks. And again, the sequence, it's like you saw a jaw drop look from Arizona. And then Kiana, you could still appreciate the details and the craftsmanship. And then this, it's just like she tried to put on so much detail and it wasn't like finessed enough. Like, especially when it's a grand headpiece, yes. But then when you look at the back of the arches, you can see the white cardboard.
I said that. Oh my God. Thank you. So
Like-
it's all about the details because, you know the look is going to be seen from every angle. The white in the back should not be seen, number one. Number two, when you're actually there, the cardboard itself broke in half like this in the back. So it didn't show, but like one of the parts actually broke down like this. And I was like, no. The heads falling for me wasn't as big as it actually collapsing while she was walking. So it's not shown, but like, that's why I said all those things. I was like, you have to consider how to walk with your props. You have to practice with it.
I think for this look, she kind of bit off more than she could chew.
Yeah.
She tried to go for larger than she could execute given the amount of time they had to prepare.
Yeah.
That's why the details were kind of rough around the edges. I love the concept. I wish she got there.
Yeah, like the makeup is really cool for me. And the outfit itself is great, but like that's another thing. Like when you present your outfit, you have to perform your outfit. Just like, you know how like Yoha was like really performing and then other people were. And in this, for me, because she's not performing, it's becoming flat.
She was so concerned about like lifting the heavy.
Keeping it together.
Yes.
Holding it together.
Okay, now this next one, Suki doll, I have to make a point again about the LED because during the episode I did not appreciate it as much as when I saw the look online because the LED background, there's just so much going on that I can't look at the detail.
So distracting. Yeah. But like this up to the shoe itself, the way she walked, it was so excellent. It's fashion. The makeup is out of this world. Like I remember seeing it and I was like, I'm getting goosebumps again. Like
Right.
it's
It's the smiling face for me. All the faces were different, but that smiling face is so scary good.
and like even the face taunting you in the back.
Oh,
Oh my God. I mean, it's all her face, but different expression and also hits on her culture, but in a way that is so avant-garde and like hits on the note of like mythology. It's so, I can't.
and people I'm seeing some people online kind of drawing comparisons to, between this look and Kiana's circus look because it is a hat with hanging masks. But they're far too different for me. Like, yeah, the technique of having masks on the hat is similar, but the look itself is so fully realized that you can't compare them.
There's nothing negative I can say about this look. Nothing. And I would love to see anyone say anything negative about this look because it's impossible.
Speaking of looks with you having negative stuff to say, next up is
Bitch, not you with
Venus
that
de Lo-
segue. Fuck you. Yeah, I mean, people are saying that, we deliberately did not make her win because we didn't want her to win 3 weeks in a row. I still stand by what I think. From me, when she popped up, I was like, oh my God, it's so cool. But then when she propped out and then it's just hanging off like a pawn show, for me, it just didn't took me to the place of fantasy that I know Venus is capable of. And she looks gorgeous. Her face is so well painted. But I've seen, the what is it called? The paint discs on so many drag artists before. When it becomes a poncho on top of it, I felt like it was not giving me all the life that I needed. I didn't gasp.
I thought it was great, but I appreciate it more when somebody clocked the Victor and Rolf reference. If the silhouette under the poncho would have been a bit more refined, I feel like it would have made more sense for her to put it down. So that's just like the nitpick I have of it. But I still think it's a great look. Her execution is still great. Concept is great.
No, it is. It's great. But still, for me, with it being a reveal needs to gag you. It didn't gag me.
I feel like if she did it in reverse, where it was a poncho first and then she props it up.
That would have, I felt like that would have been more like, you know? Yeah, but I love this song.
I love this
Jill!
song. I'm seeing some people online kind of questioning, like, this is such a weird song. But, like, girl, it's drag. We do have to have novelty songs every now and then. We have to have campy songs every now and then. And it just, like, adds... Exactly.
Oh my God! Right, I was thinking that immediately. Yes, is that an yeah? Completely.
It adds spice to
Feel good song that you grew up with. How about that?
And like as a contestant, like when you get that MP3 and you get such a wide variety of songs, you get all the more excited to perform the song.
MP3. Oh my God!
Sorry.
Let's roll out her VHS. Okay,
Connection.
but okay. Can we talk about her Kate plus 8 wig? Okay, I'm gonna say something, and I don't know if you can. I think they were doing an homage to lesbians this week because both of them were giving me lesbian hair.
Yes.
Right? But in the best way. Chai, you're a lesbian. Wait, I have to ask you because I don't want to get canceled any more than I have. Is it okay to say that their lip sync looks is an homage to lesbians? You're okay, but you're just one lesbian. And what about the rest of the possible watching lesbians? Like, can we say that this is a stereotype of what people... I felt like this is what people imagine lesbian haircut would be. For me, it looks like they're giving an homage to lesbians' haircuts.
When she pulled out that mustache, it was great. But when she used the back wall to start fucking flying, it was over.
Being there, because the decision of who win is not up to me. It's up to Mama Pao. So for me, watching it in real life, it was very close. I'm not even kidding. That's my first thought after the lip sync was done. I was like, could have been anybody. Because one was really campy and doing these moves that are really funny and hitting certain points, right? So I would go like, oh, that's really great. And then I'll look like Brigading because Brigading moved on that stage in real life so well. Like she was so commanded.
Yes.
She was commanding the stage. So I was like, if I was judging this, would I go with the stunt, comedy stunt, or do I go with how you move on the stage? Because they're very different approaches. For me.
She's looking at
and
that
I'm entitled
camera
for my fucking opinion. I was there. I seen it. And so for me, I felt it was very close. Like to the point that I was like, can't tell who's gonna win. Yeah.
But then them choosing Arizona was just like the episode drama storyline payoff that just chef's kiss episode.
So that is it. From 9, they are now 8. And then that ends your 2-episode judging stint on Slaysian Royale. How would you remember this time? Because it looked like you were also having a lot of fun being a judge, celebrating all types of drag.
For sure. It's honestly every single time I judge on as a guest judge here in the Philippines, it's always so humbling and like the fans just love me and I'm so thankful. Like honestly, thank you for understanding where I'm coming from. Y'all understand what it's like to have Asian parents. And so for me, it's just I'm very unfiltered. I say what I think all the time. And I don't think that's going to change because when you get to the age of 37, you're like, I guess this is me. I just have to live with myself. It's most likely not going to change. And my therapist said it. And I was like, you're a bitch and you will always be one. And so I'm trying to live life like my mother. So it's just, just going to be this way. And I think it's different though. This time coming around to watch a different types of talent. Like when you're watching it on a regular season, I feel like there's less, not that there's less incentive, but because everyone has done it before.
And for me, what I really am enjoying about the season so far is everyone is coming to such a high quality of drag, but coming from such different backgrounds.
Yep.
The way that Suki does drag excellence compared to how Venus does drag excellence, they're both so amazing. For example, they're both so great, and it's so hard to compare them because they're just coming from such different backgrounds that you can't be like one is better than the other definitively.
Yes, you get to learn about each other.
Yeah.
It's so beautiful.
So
Yeah.
that is it. Thank you for being on the pod, and thank you for being on Drag Race. Like really, really amazing judging.
Thank you for being on Drag Race.
I mean, like, thank you for.
Thank you for the great TV that
the
you
great
provide.
TV.
Well, that's not TV, but you know that's how I am in real life.
Why won't you let us just tell everyone that you are a total sweetheart?
Because when you're Asian, when people give you compliments, it's like, we are not deserving of this. I didn't get it in my childhood.
So no one else should get it.
Exactly.
But that is it for our episode. Thank you so much. Don't forget to rate and review us on Apple Podcast and Spotify. Our viewing party is coming back. Episode 5. It's a mini season 2 reunion. Tickets to that are available at beckenemen.helixpay.ph. That is it. Thank you, Pangina.
Of course, people know where to follow you already. They should.
I mean,
Wait, this is a podcast?
oh my God, what did
I
you
thought
think
it's being filmed.
It's a
It's a video
It's a podcast
podcast.
on video. We have
I
video
thought a
now.
podcast, no video.
It's people below 37 know that podcasts now have videos.
Hope you live to 37.
And that is it. Thank you, everyone. Bye.
The opinions of podcast creators, hosts, and guests are not necessarily reflective of the official stance of the Pod Network Entertainment, its hosts, or other network programs. The content created by the people behind the podcast is personal and not meant to harm any religion, ethnicity, group, organization, company, or individual.